Hello everybody and welcome to the Custom Corner here at Arkham, and we are visiting the second half of the classes and subclasses from Mint T Fan's Baldur's Gate 3 expansion. I'm going to be completely honest that it's been a while since the first video, and actually in that time I've actually built decks with two of the classes that I already previewed in the last one. And I will say they are quite powerful, and I did take extra trauma as recommended by Minty Fan. If you did not watch the first episode, I highly recommend you check out the first episode, because I'm not going to read in detail these mechanics that we've already talked about, but I'll give them a summary if they do come up here. So, how these work is that you choose a class to add to your character, and then you can upgrade into the subclass with it. And it's really fun, and you also get to get these special cards in your upgrade pool as well. So why don't we dive in and read some cards here. You played this already. I haven't played these ones. I only played the ones that I looked at. So if you don't know, in the first video, there was a lot of me just kind of nodding and going like, yeah, this card seems good. And I think that's just because like Minty Fan just designed like good cards. I'm going to also just go into the perspective knowing that, again, that these are actually pretty powerful effects. And not that I think that that's a bad thing. I think that it's okay for cards to be powerful. And it's the diversity of where you can take them, and rather how you can explore investigators, I think is really cool. So that's kind of going to be the approach that I'm going to be taking with these. I want to look at where I would put these investigators in rather than me trying to get into the nitty-gritty of the card. Because again, I do think that all these cards' designs are actually quite solid. So, Paladin. Class Permanent. Divine Sense. During setup, add 2 Blessed tokens to the Chaos bag. For every 10 experience you've earned in total, add 1 additional Blessed token to a max of 4 total tokens added. For each Blessed token in excess of this max, gain 1 resource instead. Interesting. Once per campaign, you may ignore 1 physical or mental trauma you would suffer for lay on hands. That's kind of neat. Okay. So obviously, right off the bat, Parallel Zoe, Sister Mary would love these kind of things. Kohaku, Kohaku probably would also like to be a paladin. It seems to suit him really well. I think this is a nice, simple thing. I like the extra resources. I think that actually is a huge swing in the later scenarios when you've had that 10 experience you've earned. I think that's really cool. But let's check out the subclasses. Oath of the Ancients. Oath. You must choose yourself or your location for the purposes of effects and keywords on encounter cards, including Hunter, enemies engaging if able. Okay, I don't really understand that, so let's read it again. You must choose yourself or your location for the purposes of effects and keywords and on encounter cards, including Hunter, enemies engaging if able. So, you kind of like your oath overrides prey? Would that be how it would work? And if it was like Hunter, there was like 2 people, and like you have to choose. Like if I was at this location and Joe was at that location, I would have to have it come to me. Okay. And then likewise, where it's like an encounter card that says choose an investigator, that investigator takes 1 damage, you must choose yourself. Okay. Okay. As a reaction, Aura of Warding. After you or a card you own adds 1 or more Blessed token to the Chaos bag, gain 1 resource or heal a damage or horror. So, I also am coming in this with the perspective of playing with... I played with Monk and Bard from the previous episode. These kind of passive heal, damage, or horror effects are very powerful. I think this is a cool effect. Is it the most exciting one? I don't think so. Let's see what else there is. Would this also work for like the Doom on location treachery from Forgotten Age? Interesting. Yes, it says your location. Yeah, you must choose yourself or your location for the... Yes. Of effects and keywords on encounter cards. Yes, I would say yes. You have to choose your location for that card. All right, Oath of Devotion. Subclass Permanent. Oath. You must defeat enemies in the threat areas of other investigators at location before you defeat those in your own. That's really clever. Holy Rebuke. As a reaction, when an investigator at your location reveals a non-autofail token, exhaust Paladin, search the token pool or Chaos bag for a Blessed token and reveal it instead, returning the other token to the Chaos bag. Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty powerful. I like the oath. So if you don't know how Dungeons and Dragons oath works, you basically like take an oath as your character, and then like if you break it, you lose your paladin powers. That's like the easy summary for it. Pulling bless tokens on demand is a very powerful effect. I like it. I think that's kind of neat. I think I like this one more than that one. But I actually think I like this oath more as well. It's a cool card. So I'm cooking Sister Mary. I'm cooking Parallel Zoe with this. Where else could we see this? Honestly, I'd love it on like a Mark Harrigan. I think a Mark Harrigan could be fun. Especially with the new Blessed Blade 4. I think like any Guardian could do this. And you can see that like Minty Fan has signified where you'd want to play these cards. Like you could play them in other places, but like, you'd want to play them in Mystic, Guardian, and Rogue. The Rogue one's interesting, but there might be Oathbreaker coming up. Oath of Vengeance. Subclass permanent. You must not evade, take, perform, evade actions, or discard enemies by player card effect. Okay, just kill. Inquisitor's Might. When you reveal an Elder Sign or Bless token, deal 1 damage to enemy or location. Notably, you can only have one subclass. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yes. You may purchase a class card, then you're upgraded to a standalone card. I mean, maybe you can have multiple, but I thought I remember that you can only have one. I could be wrong. But that's cool. That's really cool. The Oath is probably the easiest one to get through, right? That's probably like the easiest Oath. All right, Oathbreaker. Your Divine Sense add Curse tokens instead of Bless tokens. Oh! Interesting. Divine Smite is now also a rogue card with the Curse trait. Instead of adding Bless tokens, you get +1 skill value to your next skill test for each Bless token you would add to the Chaos bag. Spiteful Suffering. When you perform a successful attack, add 2 Curse tokens to the Chaos bag to deal +1 damage for that attack. Holy shoot. Tony Morgan, Oathbreaker Paladin? I'm interested. Schizo Tool, Oathbreaker Paladin? I'm interested. Okay. Alright, let's see the player cards. So, Compelled Duel, 0 cost event. Paladin deck only, concentration, health. So concentration is anytime you take damage or horror, depending on if it's health or sanity, or it could be either, you have to do a concentration test. So you do your health value against the damage that you have on you, and the modifier of the token you draw is double. It's like -2 becomes -4. If you pass, you keep your concentration. If you fail, you get rid of it. You can only have one concentration card at a time, and they kind of just like stay. So, Compelled Duel. Fast. Play only during your turn. Attach Compelled Duel to a non-elite enemy in play and disengage from all investigators. The controller of this card is considered its opponent. Okay. Attached enemy loses. I was like, what does that mean? I should have just finished reading the card. Attached enemy loses aloof, gains hunter, and replaces its prey condition with prey opponent only. That's kind of cool. I like that card. That's kind of fun. That's just like great. I mean, dude, even if this just like goes away immediately, right? Like if you're just like, this is just like a way to save a seeker. I mean, I think that's not bad. I think that's actually not bad tech. All right. Divine Smite. Take that, Elish Norn, you fucking idiot. Time to die. 2 cost event. Favor Spirit Blessed. 1 experience in the Mystic and Guardian class. Also Rogue class if you do become an Oathbreaker. After you successfully attack an enemy, it's fast. Play after you successfully attack an enemy. Deal additional damage to the attack. Exhaust that enemy. If you defeat the attacked enemy with this attack, add 2 Bless tokens to the Chaos bag. Instead of adding Bless tokens, you +1 skill next test for each Bless token you would add to the Chaos bag. Okay, so it gives you +2. Yes, Elspeth's an angel. Yes. Yes, no, Elspeth is an angel now. Yes, 100%. And she also killed Elish Norn. Just so we're all on the same page. to your next skill test. Okay, so it gives you like it's giving you like a reverse momentum effect. Okay. The last part is obvious from the art. Are you sure? I think this card's cool, right? It doesn't, I mean, like, I think it's pretty fairly costed. 2 cost. You deal an extra damage. It's basically like a delayed. It's like a sweeping kick. But it also, if it's not, it adds blessed tokens. Yeah, seems fine. I dig it. Alright. Dreadful Aspect. A 1 experience, innate cursed, Oathbreaker Paladin deck only. You may commit Dreadful Aspect to any type of test. For each cursed token in the Chaos Bag and sealed on cards in play, when you commit Dreadful Aspect, it gains Wild. If this test fails, return Dreadful Aspect to your hand. Holy shit. Did you guys ever want 10 wild icons? Promise of Power? Get out of here. No one likes you anymore. Interesting. So I like it because it doesn't actually match it, right? It doesn't actually match it. Because like 1 wild equals 1 curse token, which is not the modifier. But I mean, like, unless you're unlucky, in Stu Dunsparce's case, you're unlikely to draw that many curse tokens. I think that's a cool card. I mean, it helps the Succeed by Rogues really well. I like it. I think that's neat design. All right. Aura of Courage. It's a 0 cost, 3 experience, Guardian Mystic asset, takes up a spell slot, Ritual Blessed, Paladin deck only, except Oathbreaker. Okay, so notably these MFers are fine for Oathbreaker, but this is the first one they're not, because Oathbreakers have no courage. Investigators at your location get +1 fist. Sign me up? Sign me the frick up. When your turn begins, seal a blessed token from the token pool on a blessed ass you control, or add 1 blessed token to the Chaos Bag. If you cannot, draw 1 card. Oh, okay. I like this card. Do you want to know why? Because it gives you +1 fist. And I'll take +1 fist any day of the week for a spell slot. I'll do that as a paladin. Parallel Zoe, Sister Mary, both will love the hell out of this. Okay, I think that's a cool card. I dig it. I dig it. I think Dexter could be a fun Oathbreaker too, potentially, to explore. Aura of Hate. This is probably an Oathbreaker card because it's green and because the title of the card is Aura of Fate. 0 cost, 3 experience, takes up the spell slot. Hey, this is like the same sort of thing. Okay. Oathbreaker Paladin deck only. Other investigators at your location get -1 fist. While another investigator at your location get +1 brain and +1 fist. Okay, sign me up, I think. Oh, Dexter can't take this one. Okay, that's okay. When you would be dealt 1 or more damage and or horror, if there are 5 or more curse tokens in the Chaos Bag and sealed on cards in play, cancel 1 of that damage or horror. Dude, I think this card's also actually kind of sick. I like it. I will say that I'm kind of over cursed and blessed tokens right now just because of all of the theory crafting that's come with Hemlock Veil. So I'm not like blown away by these designs, but I do really like them exploring how they explore the bless and curse thing. I think it's neat though. And then an upgraded Divine Smite. Deal 3 additional damage for this attack. Automatically evade the enemy. If you defeat the attacked enemy, add 5 blessed tokens. For each blessed token, you cannot heal a damage or horror. Yeah, that seems pretty good. That seems like a pretty good upgrade. I think the Paladin's a cool card. I think my favorite one is probably still this one. The Oath of Devotion. I think the Oathbreaker one's obviously really cool. I wish they give him like red glowy eyes for this one. That would have been funny to Photoshop the art a bit. The right thing to do? Probably not, no, but it would have been funny. Yeah, I think this one's my favorite. Oath of Devotion. Alright, Ranger. Ranger is another class that I actually play in Dungeons & Dragons. If you don't remember from the first one, I mostly play fighters. But Rangers are probably like the non-fighter class I play the most because they're kind of just like fighter with a bow a lot of the time. Alright. Class permanent. As a lightning bolt, natural explorer. Exhaust ranger, look at the revealed side of a connecting unrevealed location. As a reaction, after you reveal a location or put a new location to play, exhaust ranger and gain a resource. That's sick. That's just like free passive income, baby. I'll take it. Okay. Let's see the subclasses. Hunter. You get +1 book. You may target an enemy at any location with one or more bounties on it for attacks using a firearm or ranged card. Ignore the elude and retaliate keyword on that enemy. You may target an enemy at any location with one or more bounties on it for attacks using a firearm or ranged card. Okay. Lightning bolt. Choose an enemy to play. Place 1 resource on it as a bounty. Limit once per round. Huh. Interesting. What classes are you telling me to do? Seeker, Guardian, and Rogue. That checks out. Okay. Interesting. It seems powerful. Three-day gruel. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the goddamn table. Interesting. So this is making me think of, like, how can we, like, we should, like, it's like Hacker Min, but what if we make, like, Hacker Joe? Or honestly, give me, like, a weird Wendy Adams. And she uses, like, British Bulldog. I don't know. I'm interested. All right, let's see what else we got. Beastmaster. You get +1 fist. Companion's bond. At the end of your turn, place a trust token on 2 creature assets you control. Okay, that trust token's probably going to come in somewhere else. Your investigator deck building options gain creature cards levels 0 to 5. Okay, that's neat. Not for me, but I think that's neat. That has Eric written all over it for sure. All right, and I'm sure these trust tokens are going to matter once we get to this stuff. Yeah, probably. Okay. Gloomstalker. Subclass permanent, you get +1 foot. As a reaction, Dread Ambusher. After your turn begins, if no actions have been completed this phase, and there are no enemies at your location, you get, with an evade value higher than your foot, take an action. There are no enemies at your location. You get advantage. So advantage is you reveal 2 tokens, you take the higher modifier, unless you reveal a skull and an autofail, in which case you choose the autofail. No action to complete this phase, and there are no enemies at your location with an evade value higher than your foot. Take an action. That seems really good. I like it. I like the time roller. How's it going? I like this one a lot, actually. I think this one's really cool, the Hunter one, but I think this one is the one that intrigues me the most. All right, let's see the signature cards here. Hunter's Mark, 3 cost, Rogue Guardian Mystic. Sorry, Rogue Guardian Seeker. Takes up a spell slot, ranger deck only, fast, uses 3 charges, concentration on health. You get +1 skill value if find an enemy with 1 or more bounties on it. Okay, so this is the bounty synergy here. That's the only thing that gets bounties. So you're going to probably want to play this one with Hunter. Okay. Never mind. Never mind. Read the card. It gives you more information. Exhaust Hunter's Mark and spend 1 charge. Place 1 resource from the token pool on an enemy and play as a bounty. As a reaction, defeat an enemy with 1 or more bounties on it. Discover a clue from your location. That seems pretty neat. Yeah. It's kind of making me want to do Joe, for sure. Joe Diamond, I think, seems like a really fun ranger. Cool. I mean, obviously this one makes it easier because you can place multiple bounties on here. Is this a Tony's bounty, the same thing legally speaking? Dude, I think it is. Oh, okay. All right, Holy Helicopter, you're cooking. Is that a chef's hat I see? Because I think it is. I think you're right. Now we're talking. Yep. All right. Tony Hunter is probably where we're going to go. Get Joe out of here, even though I think that would still be cool. All right. Urban Tracker. It's a creature practice skill, commits for a wild and a book. Can we read Tony? Oh, no, I'm 100% sure you're right. bounty. Sorry, what is it called? Bounty contracts. Yeah, I think it's the same. I don't see why it isn't. For each bounty on the attacked enemy. Yeah. Seems to work. Alright. Ranger deck only, max 1 committed per skill test. If the skill test is successful, add Urban Tracker to play area as an asset with 1 trust token on it. As a reaction, after you succeed a skill test by 2 or more, discard Urban Tracker. For each trust token on it, discover 1 clue at your location. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, are these all the bounty ones? Okay, yeah. So these can also work in their own, but they get benefited from Beastmaster, where you can use these beasts to... I like this. This is actually a very similar space that we have that I used for when I made the Justin, Travis, and Bryn custom investigators, and for my signature skill. It's very similar to this kind of space. Not exploring it as deep as into this beast synergy, obviously, but it's like it's a creature card that's a skill that becomes an asset, which I think is cool. All right, Wasteland Wanderer, wild and afoot. Max 1 committed per skill test. If the skill test is successful, add Wasteland Wanderer to your play area as an asset with 1 trust token on it and the text. If you see the skill test by 2 or more, discard Wasteland Wanderer. For each trust token on it, draw a card to gain a resource. That does seem really fun with Ranger, with the Beastmaster one. I kind of dig it. All right, Beast Tamer. Beastmaster, Beast Tamer. If it's successful, this is a fist in a wild. A Beast Tamer player has an asset with 1 trust token on it. And to see the skill test by 2 or more, discard Beast Tamer. For each trust token on it, deal 1 damage to enemy or location. Cool, I like it. I think that's a cool package of skills to work with this Beastmaster card. Would I run them on their own? Probably. Like if I was Tony, I would probably just run this. It's practiced. Practice cards are very good. All right. Lightning Arrow. 2 cost, 2 experience. It is Guardian, Seeker, Rogue, Spell Tactic Range, Ranger deck only, Fight. Choose an enemy up to 2 locations away for this attack. You may use Foot instead of Fist and get advantage for this attack. For each skill card committed, deal +1 damage. Max +3 damage. Yeah, that seems like a powerful card. That seems like a pretty powerful card. Yep, I like it. I don't have much to say. It's just I think that's a powerful card. Conjure Barrage. 2 costs, 4 experience events. Spell Tactic Ranged. Ranger deck only. Fight. It's, by the way, it's the 3 classes again. This attack chooses and targets a revealed location up to 3 connections away from yours. Test Fist X, where X is that location's shroud. Add your foot value to your skill value for this attack. If you succeed, instead of the standard damage, you may assign it to 4 damage among enemies at that location. Any additional damage, so just flamethrowers that location. That's cool. Yeah, Winnie does love committing multiple skill cards. Yeah, man. I think the Ranger is a pretty neat package. Do I like it more than Paladin? That's a great question. I think I do. I think this one interests me a bit more. I think I like this card. This card is really cool with these skills. And this is also a really cool card. Yeah, I really like the Ranger class. But let's go on to Rogues. Everyone's least favorite class to play with. Yeah, it looks like the trust tokens only do with these built-in things. Alright, Rogue. Class. Permanent. His reaction, sneak attack. When damage is dealt or moved to an enemy not engaged with you, spend 1 action, deal 1 damage to that enemy. Okay, that's cool. To or move to an enemy not engaged with you. Spend 1 action, deal 1 damage to that enemy. Okay. Thief. Fast hands. You may take an additional action during your turn, which can only be used to move, evade, or gain resources. I mean, that's certainly not, like, exciting, but it's good. Just basically pay 4 experience to move every turn, or gain a resource every turn, or evade every turn. I think that's, like, it's powerful. It's not exciting, but it is powerful. Alright. Arcane Trickster. When your turn begins as a reaction, search your bonded cards for Mage Hand Ledgermane and draw it. Magical Ambush. After an enemy readies at your location, exhaust Rogue, shuffle a trick card from your discard pile into your deck. Holy shit. Gain 1 resources. Rita! You're cooking! No, I would not say this works to gain resources, because while the card Emergency Cash is giving you resources, you are not, like, gaining resources. I think it's like the gain resource action. I don't think it's supposed to work for Emergency Cash. I could be wrong, but I don't think it does. I think it would say play. Alright, let's see this Mage Hand. Fast. Play during any Lightning Bolt player window. The next action you perform this round, except move or fight, may be performed as if you were at a real location up to 2 connections away. That's kind of cool. Your hand is like, hello. When this card went in your discard pile, be shuffled in your deck, instead set it aside out of play. I mean, that seems alright. It commits for 2 foot, too. Yeah, I think that's pretty powerful. This one seems really fun. I want to try it with Rita for sure. Assassin, so the assassin. You may exhaust Rogue instead of spending actions for sneak attack. What? You may exhaust Rogue and spending actions for sneak attack. Alright, let's keep reading the card. Okay. Assassin's Alacrity. After you draw an enemy, immediately take a fight action. As if it was your turn, you may trigger sneak attack against that enemy even while it is engaged with you. Oh, I see. It's spend 1 action. Okay, yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I think this is the rogue that interests me the most, the Arcane Trickster. Mostly just because it seems really fun in Rita. This seems like a really good upgrade if you want to be doing the sneak attack stuff. And what this does is it makes up for the fact that you have to spend the action for that. Okay. I need to, like, see it in practice, but honestly, on the tin, Rogue actually seems a little bit underpowered compared to some of these other ones. But, once again, that's just, like, I have to actually see it in action to really be confident on that. Alright, Whirler Rogue, what are you up to? Cunning Action, Dash. 1 cost, 1 experience. Seeker and Rogue. Commits for a fist and 2 foot. Rogue deck only, fast play your turn. Myriad, limit 1 Cunning Action Dash per deck. Okay, so you buy all of these. You buy 1 Cunning, you get all 3 and you get 1 of each. Okay, so it's kind of like Empower Self. Move an action. Move an investigator at your location to a connected location. Resolve this effect again. Search your deck for a different kind of action, draw it, and shuffle your deck. Okay. That's just value. No, they are treated as 1 card. So if you exhaust Rogue, I'm pretty sure you also exhaust. Yes, they exhaust simultaneously. Alright, this one's Cunning Action Disengage. I can't speak right now. I can't speak. I can never speak, but I can't speak even more right now. Myriad, limit 1 Cunning Action per deck. Disengage 2 enemies your location from all investigators. Until the end of your turn, they cannot engage any investigator. Search your deck for a different Cunning Action and draw it. That seems very powerful as well. Holy cow. Hide. Choose up to 2 enemies at your location and exhaust them. Search your deck for a different Cunning Action, draw it, and shuffle your deck. Yeah, these seem powerful. I don't know if they're, like, crazy powerful, but they just seem, like, very efficient. So, that's good. Efficiency is good. Oh, they're also fast? Okay, never mind. These are really good. Because you can basically, like, do this and then move out and then grab this one for the next time you need it. That seems really good. Okay. I could see these costing 2 experience and still being worth it. Because you still get 3 cards for the cost of 1. Yeah, that seems pretty powerful. It seems quite good. I mean, makes up for it maybe because, like, I think that, like, well, once again, I said that this just seems like lower power, at least the main class. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong, right? Uncanny Dodge. 2-cost event, rogue deck only, fast. Play when investigate location, draws a non-weakness encounter card. Okay. Evade. Attempt to evade that encounter card. Treacherous are treated as enemies with an evade value of 3 for this evasion attempt. If you succeed, cancel all that card's effects. That's really funny. Discard it along with each copy of it in play. Holy hell. That's actually a really fun design. Is that Elsbeth again? It is, isn't it? By the way, Goddess Spoonbending, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the goddamn table. Attempt to evade that encounter card. Treacherous are treated as enemies with an evade value of 3 for this evasion attempt. If you succeed, cancel that card's effects. Like, imagine if Empower Self searched for the next Empower Self. Yeah, but there is a slight difference there. However, I will say yes, that would be make Empower Self very powerful. However, Empower Self is an asset, not an event, right? So, like, while it is very good, I do agree that I think this should cost... I feel like it should cost 2 XP because you get 3 cards for it. It's not the same as if, like, Empower Self finding it, because with Empower Self, it'll stay in play forever, right? With this, they're gone after, right? They go into your until you do a reshuffle, which admittedly is very easy. It's very easy to, like, keep looping these. But I think I might be living, like, best case scenario as opposed to, like, usual case scenario. I could be wrong. Yes, these are custom cards. It's from the Baldur's Gate expansion by Mint T Fan. Yeah. Discarding each enemy that matches this is really good. Getting rid of multiple Frozen in Fears also seems really good. With Arcane Trickster, shuffle a thing into your hand. Oh yeah, that seems pretty good. That does seem pretty sick. But that's now 5 experience. Again, I might be looking at, like, best case, but I would rather, like, shuffle in, like, most other of my tricks, I think. Because these don't actually solve problems. They just, like, kick cans down the road. I don't know if it's disgusting. I think it's good. One of those every turn guaranteed? I mean, not necessarily. The enemy has to ready your location, which means if you leave the location, you won't be able to do it, right? Again, I think that, like, I agree that I feel like 1 XP is a bit much. I think it should be 2, especially as you get all 3. However, I think we're looking at, as what people often do, best case scenario when they first read a card. When most likely your goon's going to be like, yeah, I'll just kill that enemy instead. And you're like, but no, I want to revalue my tricks. And the goon's like, sorry, I got a goon. I'm here to kill, and that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I agree. Evading an encounter card it just seems like a great time. I think that's some cool design space to explore. All right, Expertise. Rogue deck only. While Expertise is committed to a skill test, it gains wild icons equal to your base skill value. If this test is successful, either gain 2 resources or spend 1 resource to return Expertise to your hand instead of discarding it. Yeah, I mean, like, going back to these, because I think these are, like, the interesting cards here, because, sorry, I'll get to you in a second, Expertise. But, like, if these were, like, 2 experience or 1 experience but cost 2, it would be harder to... You'd have to, like, have some economy. I agree, though, with you, Philip, that I think that there's just, like... I think, like, 1 nozzle needs to be, like... Sorry, 1 switch needs to be flicked on these cards, I think. That's just what my gut is telling me, but my gut could be wrong. But my gut also sometimes is right. So, I don't know. All right, Expertise. Let's give you the respect you deserve. Practice and Expert. Commit to a skill test. It gains icons equal to your base skill value. You gain 2 resources. Spend a resource to return. Expertise to your hand instead of discarding it. Okay, so what is this good for? I think this card's really good for succeeding by a bunch and then just returning it to your hand. Seems really good. Seems really good for Winifred, right? She can just keep cycling it like an MFer. And you can just get rid of it with 2 resources. I don't know, the card seems really good. It is 3 experience, though. And it's just like icons. And like, icons are good. Don't get me wrong. Icons are just like a good freaking thing. Yeah, I mean, I think the effect is nice. I think it's a good card. It's a little bit scary to be able to recur this. Recursion is a very powerful thing. But I mean, like, this rogue seems to be just recursion the card. I've never played a rogue, so I actually don't know too much of the flavor. And I've only played with a rogue like once or twice. And she wasn't a bad rogue. She was a good rogue. I just know there's a lot of horror stories involving with rogues in D&D. Reliable talent, 5 cost, 4 experience, 2 wilds. Okay. Okay. What the frick? Rogue deck only. Token and encounter card effects cannot reduce your skill value below 2 except the auto-fail token. Interesting. Does that do anything? It means that 2 is the new 0. You have to find it. It's not a permanent. It costs 5. That is some spicy rules text, though, isn't it? That's just like rules text that makes you go, huh. Huh. Are there a lot of encounter cards only with 2 tests? There's going to be some, right? A lot of enemies usually have like 2 evade. What an interesting card. It is very good for rotting remains. Yeah, it is. I think this is a cool effect, but I think it's less of, I don't know. I think it's neat. But yeah, I think it's less of something that you're like, oh, this is going to help me win, and more like, this is going to help me not lose. Maybe I'm missing something, though. But I really love the design of it. The idea of it is really cool. All right. 3 classes left. We are on to Sorcerer, Warlock, and Wizard. Oh, God. Probably my 3 least favorite classes because I hate casting spells. But let's dive in and check them out. And there's a lot of subclasses, too. Okay. Sorcerer. Class, permanent, uses 3 charges. Sorcerer enters play with 1 additional charge for every 10 experience you've earned in total. As a reaction, twinned, quicken spell. When you play a spell card, exhaust Sorcerer and spend 2 charges from assets you control. That card gains fast or resolve its effects in additional time. Oh, fuck me. That sounds fun, doesn't it? That sounds really fun. Oh, that's interesting. I really like the design space of this, and it makes me immediately want to play Spell Slinging. It makes me want to play a Spell Slinger. That's really cool. All right, let's see the subclasses. Draconic Bloodline. When you purchase a Sorcerer, choose any trait. Swap any number of level 0 cards out of your deck in exchange for that many level 0 cards. Your Investigator's deck building option gains up to 10 other level 0 3 cards of your chosen trait. Hey, Russell! You coming down for attention? I mean, that's cool, right? Oh, come here, buddy. Come here. You're going to hang out with me before I kick you out, because I can already tell you're going to be bad. I mean, anything that just opens up your deck building is obviously, like, a powerful thing, because deck building is kind of how, you know, the game is balanced. Yeah, I think it's neat, though. Wild Magic. Forced. Wild Magic Surge. Alright, Russ. There you go, buddy. Good boy. When you play a spell card, place 2 horror tokens on Sorcerer. Then reveal chaos tokens from the chaos bag equal to the amount of horror on it. If an Elder Sign or Skull token is revealed, remove all horror tokens and draw bonded cards at random. Yeah, no trust counter for Russ. No, 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 no. Okay, this is fun. This is fun. Let's see what these do. Explosive healing. Put explosive healing to play in your play area. You either heal 3 damage or 3 horror from among investigators and or allies at your location. At the end of the round, set explosive healing aside out of play. Okay, because the revelations, right? Polymorph sheep. Put polymorph sheep into play in your play area. Treat your investigators if their printed text boxes were blank except for traits. Set the base value of each of those skills to 2. Okay, I see. I see. Put sorcerer surplus to play in your threat area. Place 2 charges on sorcerer. Place 1 charge on an asset you control. Okay, okay. Summoned Dajini. Put summon Dajini into play in your play area upon thrice, up to thrice this round. What the hell? Thrice should not be on a card in a card game. Up to thrice this round, when an investigator initiates a skill test, an investigator gets advantage for this test. That seems pretty powerful. Yeah. Up to thrice. That's this new vice versa. Hey. Hey. I mean, a little bit of a problem. Alright, then we got Resilient Sphere. Put Resilient Sphere into play in your threat area. In your play area, sorry, for the remainder of the round, enemies cannot deal damage or horror to you. So there's really only like 1 miss, right? There's really only 1 miss. The rest seem pretty sick. They made the yellow card bad in this set. I think it's a great idea. Because what's more wild than Seeker being bad? I love it. I actually think this is a really fun way to play. Do I think it's good? Yeah. You only have like... You only have a 20% chance to whiff, and you have, like, I think, like, the other ones are all good, so you're going to get there. This one's probably, I think, my favorite one to hit. However, I think that Summon Dajini is probably the coolest, because it says thrice on the card. And how can you, like, get mad at a card that says thrice? Alright. Storm. Why's your ear twitching? You got an itchy ear? Storm Sorcery. Storm's Fury. You may play cards with Conjuration skill tests from your discard pile. I assume that's going to come into play later. You may play cards with Conjuration skill tests from your discard pile. If you do, shuffle them into your deck instead of discarding them. After you play or resolve an ability on a spell card, move to connecting location limit once per round. Oh, yeah, that seems alright. Alright, I just need to see this Conjuration. Am I going crazy? Okay, let's read these cards and see if it makes sense. Maybe my skim reading is just not good enough. Alright, Meta Magic. Permanent limit 1 per deck. Sorcerer cards do not count towards your deck size. Before you draw opening hands, attach all sorcerer cards from your deck face down to this card. Cards attached to Meta Magic may be played as if they were in your opening hand. It's cost to play an event. An attached card exhausts Meta Magic. That seems really good. Itchy ear again, buddy? That seems very powerful. Notably, though, that's like only these cards. Okay, so we have to just assume that these cards are always available in your opening hand. Big yawn! Okay. Heightened Spell. 0 cost event. Sorcerer deck only, 0 cost, 1 experience, Augury Insight, Rogue, Mystic Survivor. Fast. Play when you initiate a skill test on a spell card. Until the end of the round, you get advantage and +3 skill value during skill tests on that card. I mean, that seems good. I like it. Seems really good. I feel like these kind of, I was like, I wouldn't want to play this from my hand, but that's why Meta Magic is here, right? You kind of just want to take that with this. Okay. Extended spell. 0 cost, 1 experience event from Rogue Mystic Survivor. Fast. Play after you play or activate an action ability on a spell card. If it is your turn, you may take 2 additional actions. Otherwise, you make 2 additional actions during your next turn. Max once per round. Yeah, that seems pretty good as well. Advantage and +3 on archaic glyphs. Oh, Daisy Walker is eating tonight, isn't she? Yeah, buddy, isn't she? All right, subtle spell. Fast. Play when you pay the cost of a spell card. Also 0 cost. These are all 0 cost, 1 experience. Okay. 1 at a time, you may discard up to 5 cards at the top of any player in counter deck, reducing the cost of the card by 1 for each card discarded. So you would discard your deck if you had recursion of any kind. You would discard the encounter deck if you didn't. Okay. I mean, seems good as well, right? Again, all these cards you're playing fast. You're playing off of this. They're not in your hand. Distant spell. Fast. Play after you play or activate an action ability on a spell card. Search the top 9 cards of your deck for a card and draw it. Shuffle your deck. Search an additional card for each point you succeeded by during a skill test on that spell card. What the fuck? That seems really good. Holy shit, that's not, am I crazy? That's definitely not worth 1 experience, right? That's worth more than 1 experience? Yeah, that seems really good. And then careful spell. Fast. Play when a spell card would cause you to discard cards from hand, lose resources, lose actions, take damage, take horror, discard cards from play. You can know that aspect of that effect. Then perform the opposite of the effect. So it's like it's a deny existence for spell card effects. Okay. Yeah, seems fine. Still don't know what this does. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Sorcerer is just like, is kind of like potential to be extremely broken. They seem very powerful. Just the consistency that this provides is kind of wild. I think that this effect is really cool, and I think like the classes are like, I think the power for Sorcerer lies in this, right? Yeah, and I still don't know what this does. So I have no idea. I think the wild magic one is my favorite just because it's the most wild magic. All right, Warlock. Warlocks are cool because like they have devils and shit. They also have they're customizable. All right. When you purchase Warlock, add 2 copies of Eldritch Blast to your deck, ignoring deck building options. These do not count towards your deck size. You begin each game with 1 copy of Eldritch Blast as an additional copy in your open hand. Mark a checkbox on Warlock's upgrade sheet for every 10 experience you've earned in total. Okay, let's check out Eldritch Blast first. 0 cost event. I like this guy's classes. Warlock deck only. Okay, sorry, Russ. I am going to take you upstairs. Okay. Fight with any skill. This deck deals +1 damage. This is Mystic and Survivor. Interesting. Notably, though, you can use it in any class. Okay. Simple. Even though I can't get like any of the upgrades, I kind of want to just play this with Nacho. A Nacho Warlock? Okay. So for every 10 experience you've earned, mark a checkbox. Agonizing Blast. You get +2 skill value and deal additional damage with Eldritch Blast. Book of Ancient Secrets. You have additional hand slot, which you can only use to hold a tome asset. Beguiling Influence. Reduce the difficulty of skill tests you perform during parlay actions by 2. This effect does not stack with Fine Clothes. Thank you! Devil's Sight. When you initiate a skill test, you may set your location shroud value to 3 for this test. Fiendish Vigor. You get +1 health and +1 sanity. Life Drinker. You get +1 skill value of fighting with a weapon asset. After you defeat an enemy with a weapon asset, heal a damage or horror. Repelling Blast. If you deal damage to a non-elite enemy with Eldritch Blast, you may move it to a connecting location. That seems kind of cool. One with Shadows. You get +X skill value during evasion attempts where X is your location strat value. Holy cow. Really cool. I like it. I really like it. Dude, she's got a head in a bag, or she's holding a head. Scary. Alright, let's see these subclasses. This one really interests me, actually. I think there's a lot of cool ways you can go with it. Actually, customizable is probably the thing I'm most curious to see in custom content. I don't think I ever want to see customizable again in official content. Mostly because it's so powerful. But I would love to see custom content designers explore customizable. And I think this is already a cool way to explore it. Alright, the Archfey. Subclass permanent. When you purchase Warlock, mark 2 checkboxes on Warlock's upgrade sheet. So you get that for each of these. Okay. Fey Presence. Exhaust Warlock. Your next action gains the Parlay designator. Oh! Okay. Okay, we're cooking. Oh yeah, she might be holding. Yeah, you're right. He might be holding just the body's head up. All right, the Great Old One. When you draw a non-weakness, Treachery, Exhaust. So it also gives you 2 checkboxes. All of these subclasses do. When you draw a non-weakness, Treachery, Exhaust Warlock, and place 1 Doom on a non-permanent asset or encounter card location, cancel all of its effects and discard it. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Yep, that seems pretty good. Yep. Yeah, that seems pretty alright. Put it on an enemy you have and then kill it. Dude. Gloria Warlock. Stack it so that you draw the enemy and just, like, ignore the treachery. It's very powerful. It's permanent, so it's always there. Yeah, it seems pretty powerful, man. Seems pretty strong. Pretty strong. Boring as hell, though, to be honest. I think if you choose this one, you're kind of boring. Alright, the Fiend. When you purchase Warlock, mark 2 checkboxes on Warlock's upgrade sheet. When you discard a spell card, exhaust Warlock, shuffle it into your deck instead. Yeah, that seems pretty alright, too. I really like the Warlock one. I really like it. Let's see the other signature cards. Arms of Adar. Warlock deck only. 2 cost, Mystic Survivor event. Fight. This attack uses Brains of the Fist. If you succeed, instead of standard damage, this attack deals 1 damage to each enemy at the attacked enemy's location. If a symbol is revealed during this attack, deal an additional damage to each enemy. That's cool. That's a cool card. Any additional damage other than this effect is dealt to the attacked enemy. We love reminder text here. We love it. I love it. I think this is a cool card. I think it's neat. It's kind of like a cheaper Storm Spirits in a way. Yeah, I think that's a cool card. Hex. 1 cost, 1 experience. Mystic Survivor. Warlock deck only. Concentration health. Fast. Play when you take damage and or horror attached to an enemy at your location. Fast. Play when you take damage and or horror attached to an enemy location. When you take damage and or horror, deal 1 damage to the attached enemy. That's kind of fun. Do you take the concentration on this? I don't think so, because it's kind of like the cost, right? I could be wrong, but that's a question for Minty Fan. They would know. Cool card, though. Armor of Agathis. 2 cost, 2 experience. Takes up the body slot. Let's go. Warlock deck only. Seal up to 1 Frost token. Interesting. You get +1 fist. Alright, sign me up. A body slot that gives you a fist. I'm into this. As a reaction, when investing location reveals a non-symbol chaos token, exhaust Armor of Agathis. Search the chaos bag for a symbol token with the same modifier and reveal it instead, returning the other token to the chaos bag. Interesting. So, non-symbol. So you can turn a -2 into a curse token, or a -1 into a frost token? Or fish out a skull. Like, say the skull is like -3. You could turn a -3 into a skull and pass as Jim, right? You could do that. Ritual candles. Yeah, there's a lot of neat hidden synergies here. I think it's a cool card. I think it's a cool card. I also love that it seals frost tokens. Like, fuck yes, I'm down. All right, Mystic Arcanum. 3 experience, talent pack asset. Warlock deck only, permanent exceptional, you get +5 deck size. So this costs 6 XP, so it's probably going to be good. As a reaction, after you reveal a symbol, if there are fewer than 5 cards attached to your attached spell, a pack card from your hand face down to Mystic Arcanum, draw 1 card and gain 1 resource. Seems 6. And they can be played as if you're open hand. Yeah, that card's really good. Yeah, that card seems like pretty fucking good. Yo, just turn all symbols into draw a card and gain a resource and, like, take that card, like, basically just replace a card and gain a resource. And you still have that card in your hand. You can't lose it. Yeah, it seems very powerful. 6 XP seems pretty alright for that. I think that card is kind of sick. We had Arms, but now he's hungry. The Hunger of Hadar. 3 cost, 3 experience. Warlock deck only. Concentration, health, or sanity. So if you take either, you have to test it. Attach a location or connecting location. This action does not provoke attacks opportunity. Attached location gets +1 shroud. Okay. As a reaction, after a symbol is revealed at attached location, exhaust a card at that location. Then discover 1 clue at that location or deal 1 damage to a card at that location. Yeah, it seems... Yeah. Put it on your location, the final location, and just, like, go nuts. Just do things. Yeah, alright. Seems kind of cool. I think the Warlocks is a neat design. I like the Eldritch Blast. I wish this had a tiny bit more Eldritch Blast synergy. I wish it just had like a tiny bit more, like just did something else to this. Because I think this is the thing that interests me the most. I think it's cool stuff, though. Cool stuff. Alright. Last one here, we got Wizard. And this, I think, is like Bryn's class. So let's see what's up. Class permanent. Uses 2 charges. Wizard enters play with 1 additional charge for every 10 experience you've earned in total. Arcane Recovery. As a lightning bolt, exhaust Wizard. Move 1 charge from Wizard to an asset you control as a secret or charge. You get +1 skill value for your next skill test. Yeah, that seems pretty gangbusters. That seems like pretty good. Even has Bryn on the card. It does even have Bryn on the card. You're right. Alright. So we have 8 different schools to choose from. The Abjuration School. As a reaction, Arcane Ward. When you discard a spell card you played or committed, attach it face down to Wizard. As a reaction, when you're dealt damage or horror, discard up to 2 cards attached to Wizard to cancel that much damage and or horror dealt. That seems cool. I like that one, actually. I like that. This is the kind of like damage prevention that I think is really fun because it's not just like grossly overpowered, right? Where you can just like just do it. You have to like work to get there, but I think it's really nice. I think that's a cool card. All right, Conjuration School. Once per round, you may treat a skill test you're performing as a conjuration skill test in addition to its skill type. Benign Transposition. After card you control is exhausted, ready another card you control, limit once per round. Okay, so there is a player card expansion. Oh, I should not have opened this. It's gonna have to load in a bunch of cards. But I wonder if this is where the stuff we're missing is. Crab Familiar? The things that we're missing. You know, maybe that's where, like, that other stuff is hanging out, potentially. The one I mean, like, over here. Conjuration Skill Test is the same thing. Okay. I feel like we're cracking the code slightly. After card you control is exhausted, ready another card you control. That seems really good. That seems powerful. Okay. Divination School. Portent. As a reaction, at the start of your turn, reveal a random chaos token in the chaos bag. Until the end of the round, that token is your portent. As a reaction, when a chaos token would be revealed from your chaos bag at your location, search the chaos bag for your portent and reveal it instead. Limit once per round. Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's particularly great, but I don't think it's particularly awful either. It's just kind of like, you get the Elder Sign and you're like, let's go. Could be fun with Olive. Olive 2, you know? You do, you just like grab the Elder. You can reveal 2 tokens. I don't know, man. You can do some shit with it. You can do some shit with it that you probably shouldn't be doing. Jim? Skulls? Am I right? Enchantment School. You may test any skill of your choice for skill tests you perform as you perform... Sorry, let's try that again. You may test any skill of your choice for skill tests you perform during parlay actions. That seems cool. Alessandra, even though she can't play these stuff over here, potentially, unless some of them say parlay. But that's neat. As a reaction, after you parlay or attach a card to an enemy, discover 1 clue in any location. Yeah, that seems really fun with Alessandra. Evocation School. You have 2 additional arcane slots. Okay, sign me up. Sculpt spells. Reduce all damage taken by investigators via your spell card effects to 0, including failed attacks. That's also really good. As a lightning bolt, place 1 damage on a location or connect location as a flammable token. So, this is where Ignite comes in, which is a special card effect here. Card effects with the Ignite keyword have special interactions with flammable tokens represented by damage on locations. When a card effect with Ignite deals damage at a location with 1 or more flammable tokens, remove all flammable tokens from that location. For each flammable token removed, you either discover a clue or deal damage to a card at that location. The card is dealt to the damage with the investigator enemy with the lowest agility or evade value. And it ties you choose. Exhaust enemies are considered to have 0 evade for the purpose of the effect. Okay, cool. That's neat. So there's some synergy with the Ignite stuff, which we'll likely see in the player card expansion for this. Wizard, Illusion School, subclass, permanent, illusory self. You may take 2 additional mulligans. My hand is just an illusion, you see. My hand is just an illusion. Lightning Bolt. Choose your location or a non-lane enemy in play. Until the end of the round, while it is in play, swap your base. So a non-lane enemy or your location. Until the end of the round, while it is in play, swap your base book with its shroud, base fist with its fight, or base foot with its evade. That is a bit too complicated for me. That is above my ability to put this into action. So really cool. Thanks though. Thanks, but no thanks. Necromancy School. As a reaction, Grim Harvest. After a non-elite enemy is defeated at a location, place that enemy face down beneath Wizard. Limit 2 enemies beneath it. As a reaction, when you play a card, discard an enemy beneath a card you control. Reduce that card's resource cost by 3. Yeah, it seems really cool. I really like that card. I think that's really fun. I think that's really cool. Just cost reduction, right? It's easy. It's kind of like the one that prevented damage, but resources instead. Transmutation School. Tokens except damage, horror, clues, and doom are treated as interchangeable universal tokens for the purposes of your card effects. Oh, the fuck, that just changes shit so much. Tokens except damage, horror, clues, and doom are treated as interchangeable. Move a universal token from a card you control to another card you control. Oh my god. A universal token. So like secrets, charges, bounties, etc. Offerings? I mean, that seems really good with the masks. Right? Just, you basically, anything becomes a battery for, Post office just delivered your Hemlock Investigator expansion. Finally arrived in Brazil. Let's go! But this seems really good with masks. It's an easy way to just another option to just refill something that's very powerful that uses charges or secrets, etc., etc. All right, let's see the signature cards. Spell Scribing, a 1-cost asset in the Seeker and Mystic class. I always Guardian, Seeker, Mystic, Rogue, Wizard deck only live 1 per investigator. After you play a tome asset or put one into play, exhaust Spell Scribing, choose 1. Search the top 6 cards of your deck for a card and draw it. Shuffle your deck and take an investigate action. That seems pretty cool for Daisy. Especially if you're doing tome slinging. I dig it. I think that's a cool card. I really like it. Is it good? Yeah, I think it's good. You need to play probably 2 Tomes get you even. A third tome takes you so you start getting value on this card. I think, anyway. Grease. 2 cost, 1 experience. This is a neutral card. Anyone can use Grease. Takes up a spell slot. It is a spell. 4 charges. As an action, spend 1 charge, evade. You may use Brain or Book and get +1 skill value to this test. If you succeed, place 1 damage on your location as a flammable token. While there are 1 or more flammable tokens on your location, the above ability is a lightning bolt ability. You may target any enemy at your location. That's cool. I actually really like that design. I think that's really neat. I think there's some cool things that can come from that interaction. I think that's a cool card. Especially when you start, like, blowing shit up. Arcane Tradition. 2 cost, 2 experience, neutral event, insight ritual upgrade. Wizard deck only, limit 1 per investigator. Attach Arcane Tradition to Wizard. As a reaction, when you use an ability on the attached card, exhaust Arcane Tradition. This use of the ability does not count towards its limit. Oh, I see. All these limit once per rounds. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That seems neat. Once again, I think that's above my pay grade in terms of the scope of doing this video. But if I explore this wizard card, I think there could be some cool stuff there. Phantasmal Killer. A 3 cost, 3 experience. Neutral asset that takes up the spell slot. It's a spell and cursed. It has 3 charges. And it has a concentration for sanity. As an action, spend 1 charge, fight. Use your brains as a fist and get advantage with this attack. If you succeed, place 1 horror on that enemy. As a reaction, when an enemy attacks you, remove 1 horror from it and exhaust Phantasmal Killer. Deal that enemy's damage and horror to any investigator's location instead. Treat horror dealt by this effect as placing horror on an enemy. Sorry, one more time. What is this concentration symbol? Okay, so when you have a card, you can have 1 card in play with concentration. If you take damage or horror, depending on what it's focused on, health or sanity, you must test your sanity or health value equal to the damage or horror on you. If you fail, you have to discard the card with concentration. You also double the modifier for the token you reveal during that test. So basically, like in Magic, concentration, if you take damage, you can break concentration on your spell. It's kind of like that kind of thing. It's like a passive effect, but the card can go away. When an enemy attacks, you remove 1 horror from it and exhaust Phantasmal Killer. Deal that enemy's damage. Okay, so it's basically like Aquana. And you place horror on the enemy. That seems kind of neat. Yes, exactly that. 8 health, take 1 damage, 8v1, double the token. Exactly that. I think it's a neat card. Magic Initiate. 0 cost, 3 experience. Seeker Mystic, Insight Augury. Wizard deck only. Fast. Play when you have a drawn encounter card during the Mythos phase. Instead, search the encounter deck for an enemy, spawn and engage with you instead of its normal spawn location. Then place 3 charges among assets you control, shuffle the encounter deck. Honestly, this card's kind of a banger, right? It's very similar to On the Hunt, and it like fits into a very similar spot. I would not be surprised if we saw an effect like this in the game in the future. This is actually just like, I think, like a really good design that's using a space that's already there and like just exploring it to be better. I think that this is great design, and we will see an effect like this in the game one day for sure. On the Hunt, but for charges, is a fantastic piece of tech. Spell Sniper. 3 costs. Sorry, again. Oh my god. 3 experience. Practice and expert. Commits for 3 wilds. Okay, I'm interested. Wizard deck only. If this test is successful, search your deck for a spell card and draw it. If Spell Sniper was committed to a skill test on a spell card, resolve 1 additional target for this search and then shuffle your deck. Yeah, that's a cool card, right? That's a neat card. I think I like Wizard. I think I like Warlock the most of these bottom 3 and then Wizard. But I think my winner of the day is probably Ranger, but I'll be honest, I don't think any of them hit the highs that I felt in the first half of the first 6 classes. However, while that is the end of this video, that is not the end of this expansion, because we have investigators and player cards to check out. in the future, which I'm very excited to dive into. So those will be coming out on the channel in the near future. But if you want to check out this expansion, I have a link down to the workshop. Again, these were all designed by Minty Fan. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Another stop in the Arkham Horror Custom Content Corner. In the meantime, have a good one. Thanks for watching. And as always, GG's.